Next game I want to go over to Vanderbilt against Tennessee. This is kind of a Tennessee matchup. Nashville against Knoxville. This is probably normally a game that we would not discuss.
Yeah.
Past 50 years, probably no one has ever been discussing this game. But right now, it's a big game with college football playoff implications. And the spread is only 3 points in favor of Tennessee. So let's go over to that, talk about that for a little bit. Also, the over-under on this game, Vegas is expecting a lot of points. It's 65.5.
Wow. Yeah. So just looking at what INSZN AI is predicting here, it has Tennessee at a 79% chance of winning this game. Typically, you see 79% chance of winning a game when the spread's, almost 2 touchdowns. So the fact that it's Tennessee by 3, this is a game that I might say, hey, Tennessee statistically should just absolutely dog Vanderbilt based on, their metrics head-to-head matchup. But Vegas knows sometimes, and so the spread's 3. And this is one of our medium conviction picks. So I say this every time, but medium conviction does not mean bad. It just means a historical accuracy of around 80%. So when you see a historical accuracy around 80%, still pretty good. And especially combining that with the 79% chance of winning this game, I think Tennessee takes the win here. What do you want to break into next?
Yeah. I want to kind of just look a little bit at Tennessee's defense and how they're going to be able to stop kind of Diego Pavia and that offense, because that's going to be really where it's at. Tennessee's going to be able to put up points, and that's obviously why the spread is at 65.5. But really, the question in my mind is Diego Pavia and that Vanderbilt offense going to be able to score on Tennessee, and is Tennessee's defense going to be able to stop them?
Yeah, and I think that's probably where we're getting that Tennessee by 3. Look, they've won good games this year, and they've lost good games, if you can say that. But they're scoring a lot of points, and their losses against Georgia and Oklahoma, being 3 points and 6 points. But looking at the final scores of those games, scoring 80 and 60, etc., they're able to put up a lot of points, but their defense has been kind of the issue behind closing out those big wins. And if we look at kind of their headline grades for defense, their coverage defense is top 25 percentile, but their pass rush defense and run defense are around 50 percentile in the country this year. So Diego Pavia, should be able to, have his way to some degree against Tennessee. I'd be surprised if they totally thwart what he's been able to do against teams this year. So I think that's probably the question mark behind, does Tennessee take this easily? Because we know that they're going to put up a lot of points. Their offense really clicks well and has clicked well this year in terms of, being able to put up points. But the question mark is, what is their defense able to stop?
Exactly. And that's where the game, at least in my mind, what it hinges on is can Tennessee, come up with some big stops.
Yeah.
And because Diego Pavia has shown they can put up points. Even the Texas game, they were completely out of it, end up making it, a 2-point game, whatever that ended up being. Even when they're behind, they can put up points and bring them back. The Vanderbilt's offense is going to keep them in this game.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to whether or not Tennessee's defense can come up with some big stops, in big time spots. And that's kind of what I'm looking at.
And I think one thing I also want to point out here is that Diego Pavia has kind of shown up well in big games. I mean, Missouri was kind of a lackluster performance, only getting 130 yards to the air. Alabama was also a little bit lackluster, 202 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But against Texas, which, was a closer game than it should have been at the very end, he had 365 yards, 85% passing accuracy, and a QBR of 124.4. He shows up, more recently in big games where it actually matters, and kind of continuing that up with the following weekend against Auburn, and then obviously against Kentucky had no issue. So I think he's kind of hitting his stride right now, and it'll be interesting to see, how he kind of continues that into the final game of the year against Tennessee.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm excited to watch it. Like I said, and I've said over and over, this is my favorite week of college football, because this is when we get these kind of games that are rivalry games, and they're exciting, they're fun. So if you're a Vanderbilt fan, Tennessee fan, college football fan, comment, like, subscribe, let us know what you like hearing, what you want to hear more about. If you have any questions about the, advanced analytics, what's the difference between completion percentage, adjusted completion, and accuracy percentage, any of that, comment, reach out to us on X, Instagram, even TikTok. And then, as always, become an in-season insider today by going to inseason.co so that you have access to all of those advanced analytics and the AI-derived insights that are provided and powered by INSZN AI.
And Braxton, let's go ahead and throw a promo code in the caption of this video, and we'll give people 25% off.
Done. Black Friday special. I love it. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all.